Well, good afternoon and welcome to the final keynote session for the IFLA Information Futures Summit. And today's final keynote is called Conversations and Provocations. And I know many of you are looking forward to hearing more about the work of the National Library Board of Singapore. My first visit to Singapore to see the work of the National Library Board was in 2004. And it was so inspiring then, and today it is even more inspiring, and I think you're going to have a fantastic experience this afternoon. I'll briefly introduce our speakers. We have Pong, who is the Chief Executive of the National Library Board, and he oversees the work of 28 public libraries, the National Library and the National Archives of Singapore. And since assuming this role, he's been actively driving organisational transformation within the National Library Board, including the implementation of Lab 25, the Libraries and Archives Blueprint. Cher will be joined by Jean Tan, who is the Chief Librarian of the National Library Board, and as Chief Innovation Officer, he is spearheading the development of Lab 25, a new transformative vision for the National Library, the National Archives and public libraries in Singapore. And of course, their full bios are on the app or on the Summit's website. I've introduced Jean 3 times already around the world, and I can tell you that you can probably expect the unexpected. So strap yourselves in for a wild ride, and I'll hand over to you, Cher Pong. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, everybody. How are you? I'm over here. Hi. Okay, so apparently Brisbane is the sunshine state, is it? Yeah, I'm not getting enough sunshine, so I need a little bit of sunshine from you guys. Okay, so I need you to say something after me. Can you do that? Okay, and you have to say, don't say it yet. Okay, be good librarians and listen. Okay, say stronger and then say together. Okay, because you all want to suck up to Vicky. Because that's her presidential theme. Are you ready, guys? Are you ready? Okay, so first stronger than together. Okay? Or is it stronger together? Say it together. Shall we? Shall we, sir? We say it together? Yeah, you're on it? Yeah. Where are you from, sir?
Atlanta, Georgia, in the United States.
Oh, my favorite city in the world. Okay, so guys, if you guys are really participative, you get prizes. Whoa. You're from there too? Oh, that's also my favorite city. Do you know each other? Come over here. I'm so sorry. This is a participatory conference. So we have to participate. Where are the cameras, guys? Where are the cameras? Where's the cameraman? Come on, guys. Where are you? Cameraman, come over here. Okay, scooch over here. Come, sir. Mark, right? Mark and Elizabeth, yeah, know each other. You're from Atlanta. Build communities because that's what libraries do. Right, guys? Okay, come, let's do it. Okay. Thank you. I've got several more of these. So guys, there's a very simple way to win this. You just had to smile for an hour. Okay, guys? So forget about facial paralysis. You can do that later. Okay, so smile for 1 hour. And you get a chance to win this fantastic, I have no idea what it is. What is it? Yeah, it's some Peranakan tiles. Okay, are you ready for Stronger Together? Okay, at the count of 3, say Stronger Together. I want it loud, guys. It's a sunshine city. We have to do justice to the sunshine. Are you ready, guys? Yes. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, that was good. So shall we do that? Stronger together and then, whoo! Okay, ready? Okay, I'm trying to walk down. I'm trying not to trip. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. Why? What would you like to do?
Get on stage to film it.
Okay, come. Okay, guys, I'm very sorry to my boss. Okay, we don't have enough time for content, but who cares about content? Okay, are you ready? Sorry, I'm dripping, yeah. See, I have severe stage fright, yeah.
Careful.
Okay, are you ready? Kate, are you ready, Kate? Yes, Kate, yeah. Kate, can you stand up and help us to lead the chair together? Come. Kate, yes. Kate from SLQ. Are you ready, Kate? Okay, are you ready to filming? Okay, boss, you should stand up too. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, guys, it comes to hand action. Stronger together. Woo! Okay, ready? Are you ready? Okay, you should all stand up, stand up, stand up, stand up. Everyone stand up, okay. Okay, I'm sorry it's taking time. Vicky's getting nervous, but come on, guys. We've got to do this, okay? We are librarians, and librarians are not shrinking violets. Okay, I'm trying to make my way to the front. Okay, ready? Are you ready? Okay, stronger together, and woo! Okay, 1, 2, 3.
Stronger together.
Well done, guys. Okay. Come. Sorry, sir. Okay, so now it's going to go all the way downhill. Okay, from here. No, it's not. Yeah. I still want my bonus and promotion. Okay, so guys, I'm going to do something a little different today with my boss because I really don't like people looking at their phones. Okay? I can see several people looking up from their phones. Okay, the only thing you should do with your phones is to film me. And my boss. Okay, so no looking down at phones because guess what? We are not going to do Q&A that way. So the only way to win one of these darlings is to ask us a question. And the only way to ask us a question is to put your hand up. Okay, are you good for that? Can we get more house lights on? Because I can't see all this. Yes, thank you guys. Okay, so anytime you have a question, you can just raise your hand and I will raise to you. Okay, I've trained for a marathon, I can do this. Okay, so are you guys okay with that? Shall we do it this way? Okay, so let me just say something about us and then we'll get into the conversation proper and I'll give my boss a good introduction. So the National Library Board Singapore is a weird animal. We are a threesome. Okay, so guys, you guys are not winning this prize. Yeah. They're accused for laughing, right? Yeah. Okay. Facial paralysis and laughing. So we are made out of 3 different arms. We are the public libraries, the National Library, and National Archives. So we rule quite a lot of the libraries, but also work very closely with university libraries. And the second thing is, guess what? Our reach after COVID, 78% of all Singapore residents. That's 8 in 10. Yeah, and before COVID, it was 72%. So guys, we kicked the ass of COVID. Yeah. Crazy. But today we're not here to talk about kicking ass. We are here to talk about the ass kicker. So my boss here, Mr. Ng. I'm sorry. I am so fired. Okay, so there are times for silence. Okay, so this is silence. Okay. So Balenciaga and Gucci. So Balenciaga did something really weird a couple of years ago. They hacked Gucci. They started sending out models carrying Gucci prints and Gucci shapes and all that. And it was the transformation of the Gucci house code. And I always wondered, because my boss, you were never from the libraries, and I was never from non-libraries. And for some strange reason, I left the libraries for 5 years, and when I got back, my boss came, and he's been here for 5 years. So today is like the insider meets the outsider. Yeah, so I have a question for you, and Vicky, whatever he says, forgive us. I would like you to introduce me a 4th time, somewhere in the world. Okay, so... Okay. So my question for Pong is, what do you think of this conference?
Well, I'd say that Marek, who's the opening keynote speaker, he was an exciting and energetic speaker, but he was wrong. He was wrong certainly on at least one count. He was wrong when he said that libraries were not exciting. I think libraries, there has probably never been a more exciting time to be in the libraries right now.
Yeah, it's very exciting, yeah. It is exciting, guys. I'm not convincing it's very exciting. It's very exciting, but that comment was even more exciting. Okay, we're gonna get more into that later on why libraries are exciting. But I wanted to ask you, like, coming into the library world, because my boss has been in Ministry of Labour, he's been in education, skills, and all that. What do you think are the house codes of a library?
Well, I think the house code for the library is around what I would call the trinity of reading, learning, and discovery. right? And I would say each is important on its own right, but we probably haven't paid enough attention to all three equally. I'd say we probably paid, at least in Singapore, at least, I mean, we paid the most attention probably to reading, and early literacy and things like that are obviously very, very important. But while discovery is not alien to us, certainly, but I mean, we do things like book displays, we do banners on websites, etc., to promote discovery. But I think we haven't quite pushed the boundary on what discovery truly means, particularly in tapping on it to reimagine discovery for our patrons.
Yeah, I think so too. And I wanted to ask you about the first thing that you did. So guys, this is important. Listen, these are like teachable moments. Okay, so put on your seriousness. No smiling. No smiling. Guchin, don't smile. Don't smile. Look serious. Yeah, Guchin. Okay, and guys, can I just say something? If you sleep, I can tell. And I will come to you. Okay, so yeah. Okay, sorry. So the first thing that you did when you joined the National Library, what did you do? What did you do?
Actually, we embarked on what we called Lab 25. So it's a five-year plan. I mean, we did quite a few things differently. I think we quickly decided that we needed organizational transformation. We decided that because we were really coming out of the pandemic, that in terms of the time horizon for planning, that 10 years was probably for us too long a period. There was too much uncertainty, ambiguity in the environment. So we decided we'll do a 5-year time horizon for planning. We decided also not to do a master plan because a master plan meant that we needed to detail every single step we would be taking over the next 5 years. And we felt that that would be constraining because we would be somewhat presumptuous in knowing what we would want to do over the next 5 years. So instead, what we did was that we developed what we call a blueprint, where we articulated what our North Stars are, around 4 roles, right? And then we then said, well, this is the broad direction we would take. And because the plans were so ambitious, what we wanted to do in terms of the North Stars, we decided that to issue it as a sort of invitation to partners, to say, come forward, partner with us, work with us, and we'll co-create something. We might not go in a straight line towards the North Stars. There might be twists and turns along the way, but we're headed in that broad direction. The final thing that we did differently was that we decided that we will not indulge in navel gazing, that we would not look inward and ask what we could do, but instead we would look outside. So we'll take an outside-in approach. So we decided that we wanted to look at industries that were similar to ours, but were significantly disrupted. And most importantly, we wanted to know not just what was happening in the industry, we wanted to know who the winners are and what they were doing right in order to win. So that's what we started out doing. And I think we quickly landed on these 2 industries that we wanted to look at. Retail, because a lot of the metrics used in retail have closed mirrors in our context, right? Things, I mean, in retail, they looked at things like footfall, revenue, and I suppose in the library world, we look at things like visitorship and loans, so close parallels. We decided also to look at the content industry, right? Because obviously we are in that business as well, but we framed it a lot broader because we think that's what we're really competing for, eyeballs, right? People's time. So we looked at these 2 industries, and I suppose being good librarians, my colleagues went into a lot of details to do deep dives into these industries to understand what was going on. And I shall not bore you with all the details. I'll just give you the top-line summaries. So from retail, I think one of the things we learned, I know we talked a lot about digital strategy over the last few days, right, which is important. But we thought that in retail, one of the emerging trends, when you think about the retailers that were winning, right? Like the likes of Amazon, the likes of Alibaba, what they were thinking of is not just a digital strategy. It was about actually how they brought the channels together, the sort of omni-channel approach. I think for these, they started off as digital first in terms of their business, but they quickly decided that, look, physical presence was important too. But what was important is not to develop them separately, but to bring them together. And I think from the content industry, I think it was even more of a revelation for us. I will quickly go to this slide. Yes, and this is not my Netflix page, in case you're wondering why there's fashion and, I don't know. But you get the idea that, look, if we look at something like Netflix, which is a content business really, right? What they're doing now is that actually people are consuming content based on personalized recommendations. And these personalized recommendations are really driven by your consumption patterns. They're using data. So these were really data-driven personalized recommendations. So to us, this was a bit of a revelation because 70 to 80% of the content consumed on Netflix went through this route. This is discovery. Right? This is discovery. And it was a revelation for us because if you take a reductionist approach and think about libraries, libraries are essentially about maximizing the collection and perfecting the search. Right? One thing we learned from the content industry is that, well, it's not one or the other. They still have search buttons, right? But you need to be in both. And for us, if content consumption's patterns were shifting towards discovery, we needed to build that up and be in both in order to succeed. So what we did, and of course, if you take a look at Spotify, it's fairly the same. And what we did, therefore, is that we then took a hard look at our channel strategy. We took a hard look at our content strategy. I'll just again quickly go through some of these things. I won't go through every single thing, but let me talk about our digital strategy. So we decided that for digital front, we needed something that people were familiar with, that people were very familiar with social media, for example. They were very familiar with content discovery. So we've been doing prototypes, improving our current platform. We currently have an NLB mobile app, but we've been doing prototypes with tens of people, hundreds of people, and then I think in 2 months' time or so, we will be rolling out a new prototype that will touch hundreds of thousands, we think, of users on this. And what this does is that actually it's a multi-modal format, right? We bring different content of different formats together. It's presented to the user with discovery in mind. We design discovery as an experience, and we design it similar to social media as an infinite feed. And that infinite feed, what you see, is also driven by your past patterns, what you borrowed from us, what you read from us, etc. So that's something that we're doing with our digital platforms.
Yeah, sure. Here, boss. Sure. Yeah, this is interesting because when we started Lab 25 several years ago, we were anti-Facebook. We might still be anti-Facebook because Facebook was all about getting addiction and then going into your echo chambers and all that. So when we first built our product, it wasn't Facebook, it was Netflix. So it's all about swiping and all that. Then we realized that actually library content is not watchable TV content, which is what Netflix is. It's actually the consumption of content. So in a way, guys, we decided why don't we do good addiction? Be addicted to good content. So we wrote the beast, we borrowed all the language and the dynamics of a social media feed. It's an infinite feed. Instead of a doom scroll, it became a good scroll. Okay, that didn't get the effect that I wanted. Damn, yeah. But you guys are still winning. Okay, they are in the lead now. The two ladies are in the lead. Now you know you're in the lead, right? You know, right? Okay. You know. Okay. Yeah. So I think the idea of pivoting so quickly to that was so important. So we decided, let's try and beat Facebook at its game. So when this when this great tech company came and worked with us, they were proposing all kinds of things, but guess what? NLB said, no, we want to do it this way. So they kept trying to show us fanciful designs like, oh, what's the color story, this sort of thing, like what designers would do. I said, no. Keep it plain, keep it really plain. We're just here to test how the users will react to an infinite scroll, but with good content. We tested with a small group of people.
Yes, that's right.
And shockingly, guess what? They liked it. Yeah, so now we're going to go bigger. So I don't know whether we'll be the first to actually use the language and dimensions of a social media feed, and apply it to a library content system. Yeah, I want to say that.
Yes, please. And what we did also is that we decided that just having physical and digital channels were not enough. We came up with the idea called nodes. What nodes are is, in essence, they are pop-ups. So this is something we learned from retail as well, which is very good with pop-up stores and all that. And so we say, can we do pop-ups outside our physical network, our physical facilities? And what it did was that it allowed us to do a fair amount of experimentation. As you can see here, it allowed us to do a niche collection around manga. Right. This was designed so that it was completely self-service. People could just walk in, borrow the things out, and we didn't have anybody manning that particular library. We started out by saying, well, this has to be low cost for it to make sense. So when we negotiated with landlords, it was on the premise that landlords gave us space for free. So this was space that they couldn't quite rent out. And we did such a great job activating the space, that eventually they kicked us out. But it was okay, because we went in there with a clear time horizon that this was for an experiment. It was for 6 months. We wanted to learn something from it. And of course, these pop-ups, and this is another example of a pop-up that we did, it allowed us to work with brands, make global brands. So in this case, we did something with Paramount around the Garfield. So this was quite successful as well, and they kicked us out as well.
Let's tell them the next one.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, the next one we're doing in a place that you'll see when you land in Singapore is Star Wars. I'm just... Okay, I give up. Come on, guys. Okay, I tell you what, I have to do this.
Okay.
Guys, okay, just pause for a minute. Okay, this is what you get if you respond to all the prompts. Right? Hi, ladies, how are you? Where are you from? So nice to see you. Come, let's take a photo. Yeah. And use up even more of my boss's time. Yeah. Guys, jealous? Yeah, jealous. Thank you. You have to share this. Yeah, I don't know how. You have to share that. Back to you, boss. Sorry.
Okay, sure. We didn't just have pop-up physical stores. There were some that were digital as well. So we did this a node in transport hubs, bus interchanges, etc., and train stations. And basically where people had time, were waiting for things, and it allowed us to reach out to 1 million more users, people who normally wouldn't have interacted with us. So this was our node strategy. And then we added a 4th channel, which is around delivery. So in Singapore, we've structured it as a paid service because we didn't have the budget for it. So we collected fees for the service. So there are really 2 categories of delivery service. So one is that people could, from the comfort of their home, order books from across different libraries. We'll assemble it for them and send it to their homes. The other one is a paid subscription service where if they tell us the age of the kid, every month our librarian will curate a bundle of 8 books and send it to their home for a fee. So these 2, I don't think we've maximized the potential yet, but we're currently doing about northwards of 100,000 loans a year. And then
whistling is good. Who whistle? Who whistle? Who whistle? Okay. Ventriloquist. Okay, I'm sorry. Yay! Multimodal content. Yay.
And of course, on the content side, I think just as everyone's doing, we're going into different content. So it's not just physical ebooks, audiobooks. We're increasingly going into creation of podcasts. Our librarians are doing videos as well, and those have been extremely popular. And if you happen to be on the Singapore Airlines flight, our content is somewhere in the in-flight entertainment.
Okay, 1, 2, hands up. That's good. Hand up is good. Yeah, good one. Okay, 2. Yeah, I wanted to ask you about the idea of blurred lines. Yeah, but I wanted to ask you also about physical libraries. I'm getting worried because all of those things that you described, they can either be delivered from your phone, or they might take you away from our nice libraries.
Yeah.
Do you believe in physical libraries?
Absolutely. And that's what I was coming to, Jean, because I suppose just as retail, right? Because if people can buy your products online, the key question you need to ask ourselves is why would people come into a physical store? And that's what we've been thinking about. And I think for us, we're leaning towards what we call blurred lines, meaning it's no longer the traditional function of the library. We need to think hard about what sort of experiences people will get, which they can't get from the comfort of their home, in order to entice them to want to come to the libraries. And I think we've drawn inspiration from around the world as well. So Vicky, thank you very much for showing us around SLQ on Sunday morning, and I think you will recognize this. I thought it was a fascinating piece of artwork along the Knowledge Walk. It's called Black Opium. And I think it's not just a beautiful piece of art installation. More importantly, I think it's used to tell stories. It's used to tell stories about the history of the opium trade and its impact on the people in the state. which we think is an important experience. And we've been doing that in our own libraries as well. So let me share with you some examples from our library, from one of our libraries. This is the latest library we just reopened this year. We revamped, we had monies to systematically upgrade our library, so we've been very fortunate in getting government support for that. So this space is in the Central Public Library, which is in the basement of the National Library building. There is this space which is called Singapore Alcove, and we try to blur the lines between what is traditionally a library function and a museum function. So we brought shelves and exhibition together. So public library meeting the National Library. So what happened here is that interspersed between the shelves of books, you will find exhibits that tell the story, in this instance, of how Singaporeans used to spend their recreational time. In Malay, it's called lepak, right?
Lepak. Everybody say after me, lepak. Again, lepak. Thank you.
Yeah, so interspersed in the shelves, for example, you could find a football ticket stub, for example, from an old football match. You could find something a ticket that people used to enter the swimming clubs, for example, and we use that to tell stories from old Singapore. This is another example. This is right at the entrance of the Central Public Library. So this is a piece of artwork by a local artist, and what he sketched was really buildings of Singapore, both from past and present. And we added then a digital AR layer to enable people to find things. It serves as sort of like a Where's Wally, right, where you can find things and we play games around it, and it's an interesting way to discover old Singapore. Likewise, we have an immersive room. This is a big curved room in the same library where, the installation is called Book Havens. It's currently ongoing. So we show what happens in the colonial days, of how the book trade has evolved over the time from colonial days, post-independence, and then to current. So again, it's an interesting way to tell stories because there's AR elements in there.
Yeah, and it's quite emotional. Yeah. Don't go again. Okay. Sorry, that was a little obvious. Okay. I wanted to ask you about library killers.
Okay.
So we've had various predictions about how we're all going to die. Okay, so first it was the internet, and then it was e-books, and then social media. I have been asking myself, since November 2022, have we finally met our killer? Okay, and it's something that we've all been talking about. Yeah, so I'm going to do a little poll here. Boss, can I do a poll?
Yeah, sure, please.
Yeah, can you participate too?
Okay.
Yeah, okay. So the poll is...
He's going to do this regardless of what I say anyway.
You deserve a prize for saying
okay.
that. Cameraman, hi. Okay, I'm taking it back. Okay, so I'm going to do a poll here. And the poll is Gen AI, threat, or transformation. Okay, there are two T's. Okay, so threat first and trend. Have you made up your mind? Pramila, hi Pramila. You've made up your mind? Okay, so threat. Okay, so don't tell me it's blurred lines. Okay, you have to vote for someone. Okay, Trump or Harris, that sort of thing. Yeah. Don't stay home, go out and vote. Okay, are you ready? Okay, so threat or transformation, one at a time. Okay, those who say threat, hands up. Wow, this group is so evolved.
Oh.
Okay, those who say, threat, Peter. Yeah, Peter wants to give, that's why. And then transformation. Wow. Well done, you've all been brainwashed by Vicky. Okay, I'm going to come over here and I'm sorry, I'm trying not to fall off because, that would be everything that you remember. Okay, hi Peter, how are you? Yes, let me introduce Peter. Peter here. And guys, guess where Peter is from? Kazakhstan. Yeah, shout out to Kazakhstan. Yes, the contingent. Why do you think Gen AI is a threat?
It's a very, of course, complicated issue. I think we should find our own way. I would like to say, of course, sorry, I would like to say that in my memory, we try to use marketing in libraries at the beginning of 20s. I mean, and now we try to be very marketing, servicing organization successful. But I think threat is we can forget about our real essence of our activities. For example, I can yes. I can ask you what is the main mission of libraries. Usually, people answered reading. People should read, but I answer the main mission of libraries is to promote intellectual, spiritual, emotional, and aesthetical potential of people and promote sustainable development of humanity.
Thank you. Boss, you got a lot. So what are we going to do about Gen AI, boss?
Sorry?
Show us. What are we going to do about Gen AI? Tell us.
Okay, well, we started quite early on this journey, and we decided quite quickly that I think with generative AI, threat or not, we decided we have to be in there. We have to be in the game in order to try to do something about it, rather than to leave it to the tech giants to just drive it on their own. So we went into Gen AI. I remember that was about 2 years ago, right? I think ChatGPT came out 30th November 2022. And we dived in there without a strategy. Right? We decided that we would, and I think my brief to the team, if you remember.
Did you say without a strategy?
Yes, without the strategy, right? Without the strategy, we dived in there, and my brief to the team was, let's just go engage the tech giants of different
By
types.
this team, he means...
You're good at engaging, right? So and we said, we'll just go out, brainstorm with the tech companies what could be done with technology, and figure out together whether there was some collaborative projects we could work on. Right? And if you could call that a strategy, I think our only strategy, if you call it that, was that we decided that, yes, certainly generative AI could be used for productivity-related tools, like helping to describe items that we create, tagging photographs, for example. Those sort of things can be done. We decided not to place emphasis on that. Not because we didn't believe in them as productivity tools, but because we felt that there was already a lot of work ongoing in that front. And we said there was no point doing what others were already doing. We will come in a bit later, which we have done eventually. Right. But what we did was that we decided something a bit riskier. We decided we want to go in on front-end services. As well, I mean, all of you know, offering front-end services is a lot more risky, but we felt that there was an opportunity for us to create new value. So I think what we have done is that we've rolled out a bunch of prototypes, and the prototypes can largely be put into two buckets. One of which is what we call transforming stories, and the other one is called transforming inquiry. Jean, do you want to come in?
Yeah, you can show a video, and then after that we can talk a little bit about how we made the tech giants our minions.
Okay. Does this work?
We all love a classic tale, but what if you had the power to add your own twist? Welcome to StoryGen. Experience the magic when human creativity meets generative AI. Get started by reimagining stories. Tap on Create Your Story. Choose from a set of well-loved stories. Select a genre. Pick a location. Choose your characters. Determine how the story ends and let Gen AI do its magic. Here, the AI reimagines the story based on your selected options. Images are also generated to create a visual storytelling experience. Tap on Publish My Book and watch your reimagined story come to life.
So that was really a fun product that we created, right? We weren't quite sure how long the novelty effect will last.
Wait, can I just ask the crowd,
Sure.
those who know the answer, namely those who goes by the name of Vicky McDonald, should not say anything, but those who don't, how long do you think it took to do that? Give me a time, yeah. Philip, you look like the most intelligent person in the room. That's not good. 1 month? Damn, okay, someone else with a more realistic answer. What about you? Thank you, I love you. 2 years is a great answer. It's so completely wrong, but I love you. Because it sets me up completely. Yeah, it took 2 months, right?
Yes, that's right.
2 months. Yeah, 2 months from the conception to getting it all done. Yeah, and I guess that is the process of rapid prototyping.
Indeed,
which we have been doing for almost all our projects.
I think we went into this project not knowing, how patients would take to it. We thought it was quite fun, right? But that was really from our perspective. We've been running it since, January this year? And we've moved it around libraries. The interest is still extremely strong. We're still getting about 12,000 visitors per month.
Actually got 50% more when we moved to a different location because it's like a Rolling Stone.
Yeah.
Wrong turn of phrase, yeah.
So that's one category. The second category is what we called transforming inquiry. So what we did was that we started out, not with this product that you see on the screen, we started out with this idea of developing a chat book. Right. So what we did was that we ingested one book that we published a few years ago called 700 Years of Singapore History. We combined it with materials written by our librarians. So these were all trusted sources. We put it into the algorithm. We used a well-established technique called RAG, Retrieval Augmented Generation. And by that, we were able to ensure that the answers produced, there was no hallucination. And so we offered it initially as 2 types of services. One is a WhatsApp service, the other one is a web-based service. So you could pose a question about Singapore's history, the algorithm will give you an answer almost instantaneously. And it gave you sources as well, which allowed you to dive deeper. And the good thing,
where to borrow and purchase the book as well.
Yes. Yeah. So that was our first product. So it was an online product. We did it, prototyped it with about 1,000 people. It was extremely, the response was overwhelmingly positive. So that gave us confidence to move to this second product, which you see here. So again, the timeline was extremely tight. This was, we were first approached by an author, right, who had finished her book. She was planning to launch the book in July this year. She approached us in March, and she asked if we could, and she was working on a authorized biography of one of our founding fathers. And she asked if we could do an exhibition around it. So we told her that yes, but we will not do a traditional exhibition, that the centerpiece of the exhibition will be a chat book. So what we did was that we obtained her permission to use the rights of her book to provide this in-person experience. And so what you could do here is that you could sit there, ask questions about this particular founding father and anything on Singapore's history, and you would get an instantaneous reply. And this, what was interesting about this is that we ingested not only text-based information, we also ingested an oral history interview with this particular founding father. We took in official photographs that were taken of him in various occasions, and we presented this in this chat book. So maybe I will show the video, because that's probably explains this a lot better than me. Okay.
Step into the world of S. Rajaratnam, where the generative AI-powered chat book featuring S. Rajaratnam takes center stage. This is NLB's first public version of the chatbook prototype, building upon the positive response and feedback from the testing of the first prototype chatbook. Chatbook featuring S. Rajaratnam offers users a unique multimodal experience where visitors can converse with a digital archivist by typing and speaking in an interactive space inspired by S. Rajaratnam's love for reading and writing. Visitors can engage with the chatbook by entering a question into the typewriter or speaking into the microphone. To find out more about S. Rajaratnam's life and his contributions to Singapore's political history.
Who was S. Rajaratnam?
The chat book generates a concise response drawn from multiple sources, reflecting the rich history of S. Rajaratnam.
S. Rajaratnam was a pivotal figure in Singapore's history, shaping the nation's development as one of its founding leaders.
Users can also download a bibliography of the source materials referenced for the responses to their questions by scanning a QR code. Discover Singapore stories with Chatbook featuring S. Rajaratnam.
And
And we did this in 6 weeks.
6 weeks, guys. But the most important thing, actually, for me as a librarian and a lover of physical libraries, that we are very determined that our Gen AI products will not be just a phone-based product. Yeah, and that's why I didn't want you guys to look at your phones, because I think that's a very, very damaging culture, especially for the anxious generation. So our Gen AI products work perfectly with an in-person experience, because we feel that it gives that extra kick to that. And on top of that, I think we also use techniques that were not used earlier. We use compound AI. So it's search plus large language models. So we didn't just fling our hands like damsels in distress and say, oh my God, Google save me. You know, we put Google to work. The librarians were the ones who pre-visualized every frame of what's going to happen. So the one that you saw earlier, story, and this one, we pre-visualized every frame. And then we told the tech company, can you achieve that? And every step of the way, we are the ones holding the reins. It's extremely important. So do not, thank you. Yeah. Do not surrender yourselves to the tech giants, because librarians, we have worked long enough to know our users, and we know what makes them tick. We also know what makes them go to a different level.
And I suppose maybe just 2 other points. So one of it is that when we engaged the tech companies, they were so interested in this because it was a use case they've never thought about. So much so that actually they co-invested in this together with us.
So they didn't just take money from us, they put money in.
The second point, which you may find interesting, is that the publishers were extremely excited about this because I think it's as a result, although we don't have the attribution, as a result of the chat book, right? The bookstores around the library all sold out of this authorized biographies. So much so that I think when the book publishers met, they said we really showed them the way forward.
I think they did attribute.
Oh.
The folks who went to the bookstore said they came from this Gen AI experience wanting to purchase the book, because the Gen AI experience actually whetted their appetite. Yeah, and in Singapore there was a huge outcry just about a couple of months ago by creators who said that Gen AI is not good. It's going to steal our livelihood and all that. When we did this project, we worked with the publishers and writers, and 2 of the publishers who were quoted in newspapers leading the outcry actually said to us, they said, guys, if you guys do this, you know, you are showing the way. This is the future. This is the future for creators. This is the future for writers. Because this is a way to expand the discovery of their works. Yes. I'm just milking it.
Yeah, I know. I can see that quite clearly.
The last time please invite me to anything. I have to milk it. Okay. And then you have what do you have? Black stuff. Yeah, you have black stuff. Oh.
Okay, this, I suppose we're at the stage where we're asking ourselves what next? How do we bring these 2 forward? So I think for what we call as transforming inquiry, we think it can be potentially transform lots of parts of our inquiry services. So we can transform a reference service, for example. Right, just imagine anyone could ask us something related to Singapore, and we could make use of algorithm to provide interesting replies drawn from authoritative sources. We think we can use this thing as well to generate personalized reads for every single person that came to us. We think we can generate learning pathways as well for learners who came to us.
And the key thing is also when we work with the tech companies, one thing we realize is that we don't just tell them, let's do a reference service. The librarians can design what we call the mega prompts. Yeah, we can tell them how to design the retrieval prompts and what the things are after. We can also prioritize the sources that we want it to come in. We can look at the way that it comes out. We can do it in different languages. We can do it for different age groups. So all these things are decisions that tech companies will not make for you.
So for example, Eugene, you're right. You reminded me that for the chat book involving Rajaratnam, We knew that when he did the oral history interview with the archives, he was already quite old by then. His memory was not the best, so there were some things where he remembered wrongly. And as a result of our knowledge of the content sources, we decided to prioritize the book, which the author had religiously researched on, over the oral history interview in terms of the packing order in which the replies came out. Yeah, but I think I think there's an opportunity for us to transform book launches, that book launches will never be the same again.
Yeah, so I think they were saying it's a future business model,
Yes.
publishers, yeah.
Yeah, but what I'm most excited about is,
This is
transforming book panels. So imagine, right, if we had people with oral history interviews, with biographies, and they are from different points in history, right? Imagine bringing all of them together in a book panel and having them interact with one another.
No,
Almost like that.
I'm sorry, the exact words that you used was you wanted them to fight with each other.
Yes, I did.
I believe what you said was the French Revolution.
Okay.
And because there are different perspectives.
I'm
they
trying
got
not to be so
different
provocative, yeah?
Don't hide it. Don't hide it. Yeah, it's in you.
Yeah.
Yeah, let it come out.
Yeah. But on transforming story as well, we're extremely excited because we think it can transform storytelling. It can transform exhibitions. So just imagine an exhibition that's driven by inquiries, right? Questions that people have, and it actually evolves depending on your questions. And can you imagine using generative AI to pull memories from different parts together to generate an item that you are looking for?
Yeah, it's not to change your memory, guys.
Yeah.
It's not changing your memory.
Yeah, but this is the part that we're most excited about, which is that when we bring all these together, we can transform the physical experience. So we are currently undertaking a major project where, for one of our libraries, we are shutting it down for a while to make it a generative library, to bring the two strands together, transforming inquiry and transforming stories. And this should happen sometime next year. So if you are visiting Singapore sometime in the second half of the year, we promise you it should be ready. Right,
Come.
right Jean?
So guys, I'm here now. I'm the Executive Creative Director of the first generative library in the world. It's opening in June next year in Singapore, and it's the basis for what we think is the future library models, where libraries are still holding the reins, but Gen AI will work with us to do it 100, 200, 300 times better. Okay, so with that, thank you for your time. Now it's time for Q&A. Okay, you can applaud first, applaud.
Thank you.
Okay, so now it's time for questions. It's 4:06. Yeah, 4:06. So I have about 9 minutes. Okay, does anyone have any questions or comments? Okay, let me get to this lady here and then that gent. Sorry, I can't see you. Yeah, that lady over there. Sorry, I can't see you. Yeah, okay. So this lady over here. Hi, how are you? Yes, you already got the prize, so not getting another one. Yeah, hi. Yeah, where are you from?
Canberra, Australia. I just have a question about your energy. Well, your energy instills and evokes a buy-in. What would you suggest to help those in any context who have the fear of moving forward in a positive way to also then embrace the potential to also ride the beast with us?
So the quick answer is pay me. The not quick answer, my boss is doing what I get from my wonderful friend.
Yeah, but other than paying Jean, I think some of the possibilities here, I hope, will inspire people as well to say, well, actually, it doesn't cost a lot. You can do small prototypes, and you can make small gains, and that gives you confidence to move forward, which I think is quite important. So I think one part of, again, not quite the strategies, we decided we will bet small because we didn't know better, right? And that's why I think the co-investment by the tech company, that helps.
Yeah, just keep trying, guys, and I'm cheap. Okay. Sorry. That did not come out right. Stand up. I need a photo with you. Please. I want a photo with you. Come. Let's do a photo like that. Okay, where's the... I'm assuming there's someone taking photos. Yeah. Okay. It's very meta. What's your question, Donna?
Hi, I noticed with the voice that you used in your chat book, it was that generic robot American.
Yeah.
Have you got plans to make it sound more local, give it more local flavour?
We had one of the local flavor, but because we had 6 weeks, it was talking too slowly. Yeah, so we do intend to clone one. And guys, when you do come to our generative library in June 2025, it'll be in 4 languages. And in some of these languages, it's impossible for it to be a generic American voice. But I love Atlanta. Yeah. Okay. Not sure if that's a good answer. Any other questions? Oh, I left my presents there. Can someone help me get some, please? Someone meaning someone from the National Library Board? Okay, I'm going to run up, and then there are 2 questions. I think Vicky will kill me if I take any more. So there are 2 questions. I'm going to go up first. Okay, guys. Oh my God, training's good. My training is good. Why do you sit here with the cheap seats? Why? Why? And sir, where are you from, sir?
Right here in Brisbane.
Yes, Brisbane. Yes, Harry Potter. Here. Yes, thank you. Okay, you're tall. Okay. What's your question, sir? Daniel?
I was just wondering, with generative AI, and our library has a lot of kids, how do you stop people from looking up things that they maybe shouldn't?
Guys, this is a perfect question for my boss. Boss, you got it?
Nah.
No,
Thank you,
sorry,
Gina.
the answer.
Yeah, so actually it's interesting you asked that, because when we were doing Story Gen, right, about transforming stories, we knew that kids would love to play with it. And we asked ourselves, how do we do a PG version? So actually, if you notice, I know you flashed by quite quickly, we were experimenting, and we deliberately took out the genre called romance, because we didn't know how it would end.
We did. Guys, we actually did, there were dogs, and there were princesses, and when they started having romance, it's a bit too much. But we are having a horror story one, right, boss?
Yes, we are.
Halloween. Yeah, so that one, there's a parental advisory for that one. Yeah, because that one, we took off the guardrails. Yeah. Hi, ma'am. You guys are terrible and cruel. Hi, Joe. Hi, Joe. Where's the camera person? Okay. Thank you. Josephine, what's your question?
Okay, so I'm Josephine. I'm from Brisbane as well. So, and we met last night at dinner. So, how did you bring the staff along on the journey? Because I've been through disruption initiatives previously, and there's always those that are the laggards and don't want to come on the journey. How did you inspire, because this is very external focused, how did you bring the staff on the journey as well? And what did you do with those ones that didn't want to participate?
Pay me. Also to you, the real answer.
Yeah, sure. So what we did, I think, was that, we recognized that as with any change management, there will be people who are skeptical, who are sitting on the fence, etc. We decided to anyway, we were starting small. So we said we proceeded with a small team. And once the results came on board, once people could see the products that we were putting out, and they could see the sort of results from the response from the public, I think views changed quite quickly. And like I said, we didn't go for a big bang. We were doing small prototypes, and those helped get the buy-in. So I'd say, by and large, now if you ask my colleagues in the National Library Board, most people are extremely positive, just as this audience is, about generative AI.
Are you positive? Guys, are you positive? Oh, I just realized that question could mean a lot of things. Yeah, sir, how are you? And then I got one final question at the top. Yes, sir, I've run out of presents. I'm sorry. Do you want my jacket?
I have 2 questions, one for you and one for your boss. For you first, what did you like best about your boss?
That's a loaded question. Good luck to you, Jean.
For him now. I understand that you have a wide range of users, because it's research, public, and National Library. So how do you choose the material that you are transferring? On what base? To what audience?
I see. You mean choose the materials for the prototypes, you mean? Or choose the materials for, is that what you meant? I see. Choose the materials for the prototypes. Actually, we're just driven by the brainstorming sessions that we went through with the tech giants, talking about, I think, what products may make sense from the customers. And then we, as Jean explained, we decided what sort of products we think might work, rather than for the tech giants to decide on those. And there was a fair amount of decision. I mean, we don't have time to go through some of these details, but maybe let me just give you a quick sense of the flavor. Right. I think if the tech giants had done the chat book, they might have deep-faked S. Rajaratnam. Right, but we chose not to, because we said, well, some people like to hear him, and you can hear him from the oral history, clips of the oral history interview. But we decided to introduce an intermediary, which is the digital archivist, which provided the response. We think that's the more responsible use of generative AI. And like I said, we do this partly because we believe in developing the product, and hopefully in the process help set some norms about responsible use of generative AI.
Yeah, because just because you can doesn't mean you should.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, that was pitched for applause. Okay, why do I like my boss? Oh no, that was not the question. The question is, why do you like? I like him because, guys, and that might answer the question, he's the nicest, terrifying person I know.
Is that a compliment, Jean?
Backhanded, yeah. Yeah, nicest, and maybe there's a lesson here. Listen, guys, listen, pay attention. Turn your heads, everyone, in front, behind me. Yeah, because the things they are doing are truly terrifying. The deadlines are horrific. Yeah, I've had a lot of nightmares. I'm still having them. But when you're nice about it and you don't punish people, you focus on reward, it works wonders. I don't know why. It just works wonders. Yeah, it's like not having fines. Yeah. Caroline.
I'd just like to say congratulations. I think it's really inspiring, your talk. But my question is about failure and what lessons you've learned about failure.
Okay, so my boss will answer that because apparently I don't fail. Yes.
Yeah, sure. So I think because we've structured them deliberately as small projects, right? So if they failed, if we don't make enough progress on them, we pivot. So maybe just, again, I'll give you an example. We wanted originally to develop a horror product, right, for Halloween. And we wanted to terrify people, obviously, right? But the first version that we saw didn't quite terrify people. So actually, we had to put it on hold for a while. Until recently, when technology developed, and we felt confident enough to move forward on that. So that's, I think, a part of the spirit of rapid prototyping, I think.
And we're very ruthless, guys. And when it's rapid, it's small, you can kill it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have been homicidal. Yeah. I've been killing stuff.
Yeah, and the other thing, lesson to bear in mind is that we track the data very closely. So we know what the response is. If it doesn't work, actually we're able to stop it very quickly.
Yeah, so it's homicidal with data.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, on that note, I'm just going to say that I say data at home and everyone laughs at me. But in Brisbane, everyone says data, right? Yeah, I love you guys. So to close the session, I'll invite my boss and everyone in the audience to say data.
That's not fair. That's not the right way of pronouncing.
I would like my friends from the National Library Board to film that for me. Okay, so can you turn the cameras at everyone, my dear friends? Yeah? Okay, 1, 2, 3, data, and then we'll end, okay? Because Vicky's gonna kill me. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Thank you, everyone, for your time.
Thank you, everyone.
Okay, so we've had such a fabulous 3 days. We thought it was really important to end on a high. So could you please join me in thanking Cher, Pong and Jean. As the board is truly inspirational and they continue to be inspirational, and of course you've just received an invitation to check out the Generative Library in June 2025, so certainly be well worth a visit. So we're going to try and maintain the momentum. We've got a few things that we need to do, and we also, Jean's not the only one handing out prizes, we also have a couple of prizes to hand out as well. So to help me, I've got Sharon back on stage. Sharon, it may have been the first time you've had the Cher, Pong and Jean experience?
Not entirely, no. I think, well, obviously I met them both last year when I was in Rotterdam and just thought they were wonderful and brilliant. And also Stephen and I, on the way here, went via Singapore. And so we had another experience and there. It was brilliant. And I must say, the Gen AI, the chat book, was absolutely splendid. And I asked a really difficult question. I thought they're not going to be able to answer, but it was a really great answer. So, I mean, what they're doing is inspiring. The institution, the team, all of the staff are so excited about what they're doing. So the boss is obviously doing something right. Even if Cher, Pong, you're terrifying, you're obviously doing something very, very good, because it's amazing. I was hugely impressed.
So we're going to at the end of each day, we've invited up our emerging leaders to give us their quick reflections. So today we have Alina, Rowana and Donna, who are going to come up onto stage to share with us their reflections. Up you come. Fantastic. So what the question is so what has marked you most today, and what will you be taking home to apply in your practice? So over to you. I think, Rowana, you first? Yeah.
Hello everyone, good morning. I'm Rowana from De La Salle University, Manila. I'm also currently the Vice President and Conference Chair of the Philippine Association of Academic and Research Librarians back home. And first of all, I'd like to thank IFLA for the opportunity to attend this summit, because not everyone is given the opportunity to attend this one with free registration and funding. I'm sharing this because I'd like also to invite each one of you, particularly your colleagues and peers back home, to please encourage them also to try out the many opportunities that IFLA is providing and opening to each one of us. Just to share, my last two World Library Information Congress, I was able to attend that free registration and with funding from IFLA. So please spread the good news to your colleagues back home. Let them join the global conversation. I know a lot of many promising individuals, no, who are not given the opportunity to attend this one. So please share the word to them. So just to wrap things up for this particular summit, the last 3 days have been full of new learnings as well as relearnings. I was able to gain insights on how different parts of the world are tackling similar issues, regardless as whether you are from a developing country or not, you're a first world country. We are sharing the same issue, such as funding, digital transformation, user engagement, and many more. But this summit has provided lots of practical solutions that we could use when we go back home. So I encourage everyone to share those solutions so we can provide a better library for our community. And also, one of the summit's key concepts revolved around the importance of sustainable and meaningful partnership, not just superficial partnership. We are talking about meaningful partnership. And I couldn't agree more when Stephen said earlier in the Trends to Practice session, we can't do it alone because we're much stronger when we do it together. Thank you, everyone, and let's enjoy the rest of the summit.
Hello, I'm Elena Velja from Latvia. First of all, I also want to say a huge thank you to IFLA and Library Association of Latvia for the opportunity to be here with this powerful community of librarians. I have enjoyed these days very much. I have learned and gained inspiration from people all over the world, and it's amazing. And I have to admit that I have felt a very strong connection with native people of Australia, because we have had very painful history in Latvia too. And also a lot of Latvian migrants are here, and they have found some safe place, safe home here, so thank you for that. I have also spent these 2 minutes, but the main key thing that I want to emphasize is humanity. Please, let's stay human. No algorithms can compete with real communication, real smile, empathy, and I think we can all agree that these in-person meetings is the most important thing that we especially have after pandemic. here in Brisbane or in our libraries with persons. And the last thing that I want to add is from Sylvia Ernhagen from Swedish Library Association. She emphasized that we have a lot of black and white opinions, but we need to be more grayscale. And I have to add that I have always loved colors, but at this point I would like to say that, well, let's be the gray is the new black. Thank you.
Magandang hapon. Ako si Donna Labangon Gonzaga at isa rin po akong mula sa bansang Pilipinas. So it is an honor to be a part of this year's Information Futures Summit. And I'd like to thank IFLA for the Emerging Leaders Grant because if not for that, I won't be sharing these insights with you at this moment. For this sharing, I'd like to do this like the Ignite Talks. Some would say it has to be short, snappy, and sweet. So I heard a lot of engaging and awesome work that libraries are doing all over the world. Some examples I've noted were the Live at the Library of Troy here at State Library of Queensland. These are live stream series of workshops created for students who live far away to access our services. We also have Jarko from Finland who shared about the concept of multi-professional cooperation that solves challenges with multidisciplinarity. Katya from USA also dealt about mindfulness in leadership, who also opened about a potential research collaboration. And it's nice to know that. Hasmin and Marhan in Serbia, who shared about their game-based information literacy in creating news literacy, which I know is a skill that we really need right now for critical thinking. And by the way, I'm one of those who commented that I'd love to have one of those games that he shared. And of course, Jean and Cher earlier about reimagining the experience in our libraries. Hearing about these inspiring library initiatives worldwide has made me think about how to create a similar impact back home. It seems like every conference brings new trends, technologies to keep up with. But while it can be overwhelming, one thing's clear: the library work-first culture of continuous learning and growth is crucial. As a young leader, prioritizing this culture ensures we're all equipped to navigate the changing information landscape and effectively serve our communities. And if I failed, I would probably have to pay Jean a lot. So while attending this summit with all the people I've met, I'm confident that with IFLA's guidance, libraries all over the world are assured to move into the future with confidence, because despite these changes, despite all these, I know for sure that we all have each other, and that is the core strategy: stronger together. Thank you to everyone for inspiring me to be a confident, future-focused leader. Thank you.
So thank you very much to Alina, Rona and Donna, and thank you also to all our other emerging leaders who've provided the summaries at the end of the day. It's certainly been very inspiring, and these emerging leaders are certainly the future. They're getting together on Friday to look at how we also take the trend report forward as well, which will be fantastic. Yep.
Fantastic, and thank you very much as well. And I mean, thinking of some of the highlights, it's difficult to pick any one out, because I think it all has been consistently high quality, really different textures. I've been inspired, I've learned things, but I think what I have taken away the most actually from this is how actually the audience and librarians and you have really engaged with the process. I haven't seen anyone going out and saying, oh, that was boring, I'm glad that was over. Everybody is really inspired, everybody's talking to each other, chatting. I have had nothing but really positive feedback about the whole summit. So for me, that for me is what I take away, is how excited people are, how much they've engaged, some brilliant conversations and discussions, and an absolute confidence in the power and the potential and the future of this profession, not just the established leaders, but the emerging leaders as well. So that, for me, I think is my biggest takeaway.
I agree, and I think on Monday when we laid out what our ambitions for the 3 days were, we had two themes or threads that we wanted to have throughout the whole program, and that was around partnerships and leadership. We intentionally brought people from outside our profession in, and I think they are certainly our potential partners, and they've certainly invited us to partner with them and also indicated that we can take a lead role in this information futures, and I think that's really something for us to take away as well. So we've got a few things left to cover as well. We've certainly had, as Sharon said, we've received so much positive feedback in relation to the program, how it's been curated, the speakers, etc. And of course, many people have been involved in actually delivering the 3 days of this summit. So I'm going to share with you some of those names. First of all, of course, is all of our speakers. They have been so brilliant. They've come, they've thought about what they're going to share with us. Very thought-provoking. We've also had terrific panels where we've explored and dug into some of the themes that our keynotes have explored as well. We've had some courageous fishbowl conversations, and thank you for people to embracing a new format of engaging as well, and also Ignite Talks. We've certainly had a lot of great feedback on the Ignite Talks as well. I'd also like to thank my colleagues on the Australian Committee, and I'll ask them to stand. Gulchen Cribb, Janet Fletcher, Philip Kent, Marion Morgan-Bindon and Jan Richards. So you all get your Monday nights back from now on. So thank you for the work that you've done. Also thank KIT and the BCEC, particularly in the KIT group. Thank you to Roberta, Anna and Alexandra and their team who are here on the ground, but also their team and colleagues back in Germany who've enabled us to deliver the summit as well, and of course BCEC as the venue as well. We also extend our thanks to the volunteers. They seem to be everywhere when you need them. The Jacaranda t-shirts have looked beautiful and certainly in theme with what Brisbane is looking like at the moment. So thank you very much to our volunteers. Of course, any summit needs our sponsors, and I particularly thank our platinum sponsor, OCLC, our gold sponsor, Zochel, associate sponsor, EBSCO, and our supporting partners, BCEC, Qantas, State Library of Queensland, Plough Inn and Tourism and Events Queensland. Thank you. I also want to thank my colleagues at State Library of Queensland. You can just imagine how much they've heard about this summit for the last 9-10 months. I particularly thank the Chair of the Library Board, Debbie Best, who's been here for the whole summit. So it's pretty supportive, so thank you. Also my executive team, and I also wanted to thank Mary and Darren, who actually curated the playlist that you've been listening to of Australian music. So I think they did a fantastic job. But also everyone back at the State Library of Queensland, everyone has played a role in helping me with the work that we've done. Thanks also to our emerging leaders who provided the wrap-up every afternoon. And of course, the IFLA headquarters team. So we have members here on site in Brisbane. Of course, there is also a large team back at The Hague. Thank you to Sharon, our Secretary General, Helen Mandel, Elaine Zayan, Christine Paberza-Ramazia, Farah, who is probably running around somewhere here, and also Stephen Wyber, who is, I don't think Stephen slept all week, but thank you. And I think what I also wanted to acknowledge is it's one thing to deliver the summit, but they've also delivered the IFLA strategy and the trend report in this time frame, which is extraordinary work. Extraordinary. Really. And of course, we have to thank you. I mean, it wouldn't have been an event without you. And as Sharon said, you've all given so much, you've actively participated, and that's really what has made the event so successful. So, but we've got some more things to give back.
Indeed, indeed. Although I fear that, at least in the first instance, there's only one thing to give back. And that is to the winner of our I'm Game competition. And the prize is a free registration for next year's VLIC in Astana, Kazakhstan. But I hope anyway, whether you won or lost, that you really enjoyed the competition and that it helped you get more out of the summit than otherwise you would have done. So, the winner is Teresa Kona from Sunshine Coast Libraries. If you're in the room, wave or put your hand up so we can see you. And someone will be in touch. Are you there? No! Well done. And then, I've got one small little gift as well, which is, as Jean was sucking up to the boss and sucking up, I'm doing the same. But no, this is not sucking up. This is for Vicky, who has been, and this is not just me saying it. I mean, she has been absolutely fabulous, supportive. This would not have been possible without her drive, her energy, commitment, and just being absolutely a brilliant president at IFLA. I could not have imagined starting what was quite a daunting task without Vicky and her constant, calm support. So I cannot say, I cannot exceed, it's just, I'm so grateful. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Really, thank you.
But I must emphasise it's certainly been a huge team effort, and thank you to all the names that I read out earlier as well. So I do hope that you will be joining us in Astana in Kazakhstan in August 2025, and I'd now like to invite our Kazakh colleagues up to the stage, and we also have a video to play as well.
Is that safe there, or should we move it over here? At least. Is that going to block us, actually? I might just move it down here.
Сәлеметсіздер, құрметті әріптестер, және достар. Good day, dear colleagues and friends. I would like to introduce to you our Kazakh delegation, consisting of Gulzhan Irzhanova, President of the Association of University Libraries of Kazakhstan, Director of the Information and Library Center of the Taraz Regional University, named after Muhammad Dolati, and Akmaral Asanova, Director of Narcos University Library. We are very grateful to Vicky MacDonald, her IFLA President, and her team for the productive and inspiring summit they organized, prepared, and delivered so that we had something useful and important to use in our work and share with our colleagues back home. Now I would like to give the floor to Gulzhan Irzhanova, the President of University Libraries of Kazakhstan. Please.
Thank you. Сәлеметсіздер ме, құрметті әріптестер, саммитке қатысушылар, Қазақстан Республикасы кітапханашылар қауымдастығы атынан саммит ұйымдастырушыларына үлкен рахмет айтамын. Бұл саммит жалпы мамандарға тек қана кәсіпкерлік кездесу емес, бұл үлкен алаң, іс тәжірибе алмасатын, біліктілік жетілдіретін. Сондықтан барлықтарыңызды 2025 жылы қонақ жайлы қазақ елінің астанасы Астана қаласында күтеміз. Welcome to Kazakhstan. Thank you.
Short translation of speech of Gulzhan. Dear summit participants, on behalf of the delegation of Kazakhstan, I would like to thank the organizers of the IFLA summit. The gathering of library information specialists at the global level not only consider ways to jointly solve problems in the field, but also to improve the qualification of specialists, has become an important and valuable platform for exchanging advanced experience. In 2025, we are waiting for you all in the hospital Kazakh country in the city of Kazakhstan. Welcome to Kazakhstan. And in conclusion, as for 89th IFLA week in Astana next August, I would like to note, first of all, the hospitality of Kazakh people, their rich cultural heritage, and their aspiration for the future. Modern Kazakhstan is a relatively young and very ambitious country that strives to preserve its cultural identity and develop comprehensive relations with other countries and people. So let's meet in Kazakhstan. See you all in Astana. Thank you for attention.
I can't wait anymore. Tell me where we are going.
It's a surprise.
Can you give me a hint at least?
Well, a poet might say there's a harmony in the wind and sweet smell of wild flowers.
New Zealand?
No. We'll listen to the amazing melody of the open desert.
We're going on a Sahara adventure.
Another clue. We'll ski the slopes of beautiful mountains.
Are we going to the French Alps?
Nice try, but no. We'll visit a world where magical rocks rise up against time.
Traveling across Arizona?
Guess again. At night, we'll explore the wild party atmosphere of a pulsating and dynamic city.
Is it partying all night in a city like Shanghai?
No, but you'll love the peace and tranquility of rich forests and crystal lakes.
Going on an adventure across Switzerland?
No, darling. You'll watch the sun's rays light up stunning red caves.
So where are we going?
USA?
Canada? Africa?
Enjoy your trip to Kazakhstan.
So you're certainly all invited to join us in August 2025 in Astana, Kazakhstan. So when we joined together on Monday, we talked about the importance of having a legacy from our gathering, and certainly one of the key legacies that we will have is the Brisbane Declaration. We certainly appreciate many of you who've provided comments over the last 3 days. When I checked this morning, there was over 100 comments, and I'm sure there's been more since then. So you have got the QR code on the screen and also in the app. And really what this Brisbane Declaration is about is reaffirming the commitments that we made in the Lyon Declaration just over 10 years ago. But this one sets out in more detail the principles that will govern the information future that we want to see. It also relates our work to what is happening on the global stage, and it underlines the importance of leadership and partnerships to ensuring sustainability. So hopefully you may have had a chance to look at it. It is very much a provisional draft. We certainly will do some more work on it as well, but we certainly hope that we have your support for taking this Brisbane Declaration forward. Can you show your hands if you're happy for us to take it forward for you? Fantastic. Thank you. Thank you very much. And I think having a legacy is very important. And of course, the other key legacy that we also have is the trend report. I think it's a fantastic tool, and certainly there'll be a lot more resources that will be shared with you as well.
Yeah, so thank you everybody for that support. And I think one of the reasons really for developing the declaration was to ensure that the discussions, the creativity, the kind of the energy and the ideas could actually live on beyond the summit. And I think, as we said at the beginning, we've been focused throughout the summit on sharing ideas, sharing perspectives that can really help us evolve in our own practice and our partnerships. And so I really hope that you'll go home with lots and lots of ideas that you want to incorporate into your work and things that you want to test out, conversations that you want to follow up. And I think one of the great things I must say has been about the app is sort of getting the questions and answers, seeing people, being able to communicate and message people. And you'll get as well, all the presentations, everything will get shared. So there's so much content in there, I think, to take. And I hope, as I said at the beginning, that you've also made some new friends, because at the end of the day, you can work together in a formal way, but actually what really makes that collaboration a success is the friendship that really binds it. And I know one of the lovely things when I came into IFLA was talking to people who said, yes, we've been friends for 30 years since we met at the first LIC I ever attended. So that, I think, is a good measure, and I hope that that will continue, and I'd say that particularly for the emerging leaders. And I really do want to encourage you to engage a lot more with IFLA. We do some amazing work. There are incredible opportunities. We have a new strategy, which I think is a really exciting one, the trend report that Vicky's already referred to. We've got the elections coming up, which means there are great opportunities to really engage with our many volunteers. We have over 1,100 volunteers, I think, working on the various committees. Please engage with that process. Consider standing yourself, get involved. The more you can get involved, you know, Vicky, I don't know what your first involvement was, but I would imagine you started off on a committee somewhere, and then a section unit somewhere, and then gradually worked her way up, if you like, to be president. So let's hope we have a future president sitting in this room. That would be absolutely tremendous. It's also been great to see so many Australians here, and that, I think, has been a wonderful thing to have, not just our 70 nations, but also so many from the country. But as I say, we have loads and loads of projects, lots of things online. Look at some of the work as well that Stephen's leading on advocacy. It's really very exciting. And just get in touch with us, sign up to the lists, and be part of the IFLA family, but an active part. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Sharon. And really what Sharon's just outlined really goes to the heart of what it is to have an international federation of library associations and institutions in the first place. Because, as my theme is, stronger together. We certainly do have much stronger outcomes when we work together. We have more than enough in common to mean that we can work together to share, to learn, and create solutions, but also enough to make things that are really interesting as well. So we need to work together to deliver on the promise of universal access to information, and to do that, we need to develop the standards and infrastructures for this. We need to work together on our advocacy to be able to influence the decisions that influence libraries at every level. And we've certainly had a lot of encouragement for that from our speakers this week. By working together, we can also form new partnerships, helping others to truly recognise, value and support the contributions that libraries can make to achieve a much better world. And because we're working together, should come naturally in a field with such a sense of mutual commitment and solidarity. And I talked about this 12 months ago in Rotterdam. Really, we are such a collaborative profession. We share so much, and it is really an innate part of who we are. Our field is indeed stronger together, and we can go a long way to ensure that through working together with IFLA. So this brings us almost to the end of the summit, and I just want to remind you about a few more things that you can do this week if you will be here in Brisbane. We have Explorer tours tomorrow and Friday. The details are on the IFLA website. Many libraries around Brisbane and the southeast Queensland area will be opening their doors, and they're ready to welcome you and show you through their libraries as well. And I also know that State Library of New South Wales and other libraries in Sydney are also willing to do the same. So the information is all on the IFLA website as well. And of course, there are some associated events over the next 2 days as well. I certainly want to end by thanking you for coming to Brisbane. We really appreciate that we've had so many people come here, and to have 70 countries represented has been absolutely fantastic. It's way beyond what we expected as well. We very much value your ideas and the inspiration and the energy that you have brought to all of the discussions over the last 3 days. It certainly has been very energising for all of us who have been here as well. And you, by working together with us, have really made this event such a great success. And I know that all of you have, you know, in all the conversations I've had this week, have all indicated how much you've really enjoyed the event, the structure of the event, and it certainly gives us some things to think about as we're working and thinking about the Congress model going forward. So I hope that you have a great trip home, a safe journey home, and that perhaps we will see you in Astana, in Kazakhstan, in August 2025. So I end by thanking you for coming, and certainly hoping you have a safe journey home. So thank you, and I declare the IFLA Information Futures Summit closed. Thank you.